Well, I'm very pleased to welcome now our next guest. One of America's most interesting and influential opinion writers. Mary Kissel is an editorial board member at the Wall Street Journal. She's in Sydney at the moment for a forum on democracy and the future of journalism that's being hosted by the US Studies Centre at the University of Sydney. I'll get to the future of democracy and journalism in a minute, but good to talk to you, Mary Kissel. I want to start, though, with the intelligence dramas that are going on around the world, and now here in Australia. We've seen reports that we're spying on Indonesian officials, amongst others, across the region. We've seen an angry reaction from Indonesia. Can you understand the victims of the spying that has been revealed feeling so aggrieved, and what do you make about where this is all headed?
I think this is more heat than light, David. I mean, the idea that governments, even allies, aren't spying on one another is frankly rather naive. Countries have been spying on each other for hundreds of years. And it just reminds me of what happened during the Iraq War with rendition, when Italy sort of raised its hands and waved around and said, oh, we're shocked that America is doing rendition, when in fact they were actually cooperating with us. And I think you're seeing some of the same political dynamics here.
And some of the reaction, is that simply for domestic consumption, to show that we are lodging a protest, we're taking this to the highest levels, but in reality, they know it's always going to go on?
Well, look, if anything good comes of this, it might be for America to question just how much is actually kept secret. Why are there so many tens of thousands of people with classified security clearances in the United States? But David, really, to put this into context, think about the amount of data that Google or Facebook collects from you and sells on to third parties. You know, at least I can speak for Americans. Most Americans are fairly comfortable with that. It's not that they're not using Google and Facebook because of that data collection. Remember, the NSA has far more privacy protections than is afforded to French citizens or German citizens. We actually have a court in place, and we have congressional oversight of what the NSA does, not to mention the White House and what the White House is overseeing in terms of our security apparatus. So I'd say you're much better off as an American if the NSA is spying on you than if you're French.
How is this playing out domestically in the US? Are people concerned about it at all, or is this just a debate amongst intellectuals and the chattering class?
No, it's been a front-page story in the United States, but I think it's also been a bit overshadowed with what's been going on with the Obamacare rollout over the past couple of weeks.
That's what I want to get to. Now, a lot of Australians, understandably, have not followed what's happened here, but the Obamacare health reforms, signature policy of Barack Obama was a key issue in the presidential election a year ago. Explain to us what's happened now, why this has blown up in the president's face, and where this leaves his presidency.
Well, Obamacare was the issue for President Obama. It was his signature legislative achievement. It's the only major entitlement that has ever been passed through Congress without a single opposition vote. There were no Republicans who voted for it. It was basically pushed through the Pelosi Congress. They had 3 years to get it ready, and the website rollout has been not just a disaster in that there have only been literally in the tens of thousands of people within a month to sign up, when they've got until only the end of March to sign up more than 7 million people for this thing even to financially work. But there have been security breaches. We had a journalist call up today and be refused information because he was a journalist. And we're also getting reports of tens of thousands of people who have been dropped from their health plans. Remember, David, the key selling point for Obamacare was if you like your insurance, you can keep it. And now tens of thousands, if not 1 million Americans, are going to find out that they actually can't keep their health care. They're being forced onto a government plan which is lower in quality and higher in price. And that has not just Republicans, but Democrats now very concerned.
And I see Mitt Romney, who hasn't spoken a huge amount really since the election. He's commented on this as well. Does he feel dudded, do you think, that the election, that he was robbed? Is it even possible to know that?
I wish Mitt Romney would stop talking. I mean, he lost the election for Republicans. Just stop talking, Mitt. I mean, Mitt did not run against Obamacare because in many respects, Mitt created Obamacare in Massachusetts several years prior to President Obama residing in the White House. So, I wish he'd just kind of get out of the way and sit down. And I think Republicans should just let this thing play out. And if it's any indication right now, it's going to implode on its own weight because you're not going to get enough young and healthy people signing up to subsidize those older and very sick people who the program is meant to benefit.
Now, final issue, the forum that you're here for, the future of journalism. And, excuse us a bit of introspection here talking about our industry, but it matters to everybody, of course. I know a lot of people are pessimistic about the outlook, but you're taking a far more glass half full approach here. What do you see as the future for journalism?
Well, I think, look, journalism is going through a very wrenching time. That's obvious. The internet has completely changed the game for a lot of media outlets, be they radio, TV, print. I'm more optimistic because I welcome competition. I think it's a good thing. I think it serves viewers and readers better. And, I have to question the role of state broadcasters, David. We talked a lot about media as a watchdog in this country. But how can you have a watchdog that is basically overseen by government? It just seems to me an oxymoron. And it's remarkable to see the passions that it evokes in this country when you talk about it.
Mary Kissel, Wall Street Journal editorial board member. Good luck with the rest of the visit, and great to catch up with you this afternoon. Thank you.
Nice to talk to you, David.